Flush, flush, flush. Good evening, Matt. How are you? I just wanted to talk to you briefly on the world breaking news of a brand new WSL tour in 2026. And I know you, as a geek, enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah, well, I'm just really glad that obviously the WSL have been listening to our podcast. They've obviously gone back into the many episodes that we've done where we have clearly said you've changed something that wasn't broken, and yeah, like obviously super happy about the news. Some really cool changes as well. It's not exactly gone exactly back to the way it was, and I think the changes are improvements as well. So yeah, like the new CEO has made a great call in my opinion.
Interesting you should say that. There's a dude on Stab that comments on just about everything, even cats pissing on the road, and he's already congratulated himself on the back because he wrote a letter apparently about it, and of course that was so important. But you saying what you said in jest about them listening to our podcast leads me to believe that across the board, nearly I would parlay a pocket full of cash on at least 90% of the world's core surf communities or population who actually watch the WSL, because there's a lot of really core surfers that don't care about it. But people that actually do watch the competition part and enjoy that uh, were all kind of looking to have this tour back like what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
right, there were interesting things about the final five. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but it just felt very hypocritical. It just didn't make sense.
No, I agree, and I also think that it kind of happened anyway. Like at Pipe, most years there was between three and six people who could win it at Pipe most years. Like I know there's a couple of years John won it the event before and stuff, but like you look at like Italo had to beat Gabby to win the world title at Pipe. And I remember the year that Owen Wright like had his major injury. I think there was eight people who could win the world title that year. Him included, him being one of them at that point. And um, one of the changes, so if people haven't, so we should explain. So basically, no more final five. Pipe is going to be the final event again. It's actually now they've got the rights to call it the Pipe Masters again as well, which is quite interesting. And one of the major things is that at Pipe, there'll be 15,000 points available for the winner. So every other event will be 10,000 points. So you could be fourth or fifth and a good few points behind and win Pipe and you're the world champ. Like, which is the same as you could have been fifth at Trestles like Steph, come all the way through, and then you're the world champ. So I think that's really good. Um, I think the changes are really positive, and yeah, like I agree with you. I think that Trestles brought some really interesting conversations and some interesting kind of like narratives to the world tour, but it never felt right.
I don't know why they don't really try and do a couple of specialty events themselves, uh, where you could have like a fans' choice event or something like that, or super heats, something like that. You know, like the NBA of All Stars.
Yeah,
It'd be quite easy to like get, let's just say two surfers. For example, Gabby John at, even though those guys aren't on a tour, at a 10-foot cloud break, uh,
yeah,
like obvious choices, Ethan Ewing Griff or Ethan Ewing Toledo, which actually mixes things up at a 6 foot JPay, specialty events where each event's kind of got their favorites. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or what?
So
Or they could do like special events where, like you say, they you vote for the heats, and then you vote right. It's Ethan versus Griffin at J Bay, and the public have voted that they've got to ride 20s. Like
well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's getting a little bit too away from the essence of what it is. I'm thinking more like the final five, which was interesting, was because the winner takes all. Where if you put a big purse or some sort of what else are you going to do? But apart, I think a good prize money would do something. But I think if John got invited to surf 10-foot cloud break against Gabrielle for a trophy and obviously a pocket full of fistful of dollars, he'd be interested.
yeah, I personally think the way that they should go with that is, and hopefully they do this with the new CEO is they should become more lenient on WSL surfers taking part in other competitions outside of the WSL. So, for example, not a single WSL surfer could take part in Stab High, but Stab High is now the premier air comp that's on the planet. Like they say that they have all of the best air guys in the world go to Stab High. Well, if Yago Dora wanted to go and compete for 25 grand in Stab High, he should be allowed.
Yeah, well,
But
they say that, but I still think all the best aerialists, honest, not all of them, but the best aerialists are also on the world tour. Uh, uh, Side note, we'll get lost going that way. It starts with Bells, Margaret's, Snapper, El Salvador, Brazil, Jeffries, Chopu, Cloud Break, Lower Trestles. Then there's this weird cut. I'm a little bit lost on the cut with the postseason. So the postseason's reduced field for the pool, which wouldn't have mattered anyway because everything's identical. Just really quick. Paniche kind of makes sense because Paniche is really hard place to run a few days. This just basically means that the bottom dudes are out of the equation 100%, is it? Huh? Because if it's
yeah,
the
so
best nine events, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, if it's best nine events, is it still possible for someone that didn't make that thing to win a world title?
technically, yes, if there's a massive split. If a different person wins every event and there's a really wide range of like one person wins it, one person then gets 33rd kind of thing, then yeah, if you look at last year's rankings, I think someone who was in eighth with 15,000 points could have won the world title, which I think would have been Leo.
So then, after pipe, how they mentioned how many people get knocked off.
It's the No, they haven't.
So there you go. We were talking about before. You said at the last comp pipe there was always the great drama of the last comp always being at pipe was that there were guys that were
Yeah.
getting cut. That was the cut. It didn't, you know, sometimes the world champ was decided one or two events before. Okay, whatever. But that was because they were that good that year that they were undeniable world champs and it didn't go to the last event. And then the added drama was added by the fact that these bottom 10 would get a chance to save their life at the most gnarliest wave in the world, which I thought it was my favorite part of the year was a triple crown, and it's gone and that kind of took things away. Where now we've got this, but it's still not 100% explained, even though I'm still 100% stoked.
I think, from what I can understand, because there hasn't been any notification for the challenges, I think it's 10 on, 10 off. because
Okay. We'll assume that it's that part hasn't changed. It's 10 off, 10 off, 10 on,
yeah,
10 off. Now, it doesn't mean anything in the long term unless they fix the Challenger as well.
I agree that the
Because
way,
it's
yeah,
just
the Triple Crown needs to come
absolutely
back.
atrocious.
Yeah, like the Triple Crown needs to come back, and there needs to be some heavier waves on that. I
Like,
completely agree. I also think that um the like the other side of what you were saying about the drama around who's getting cut. I remember one of the most exciting years was the year where Kanoa got to the final of pipe, or he got to the semi-final of pipe, which meant that because he had then requalified, I can't remember who it was, but it was like one of his best friends. It might have been Leo.
yeah. No, I
Um,
think it was Zeke.
oh yeah, it was Zeke. It was Zeke. Yeah, Zeke then got on tour, and like so he was surfing for his mate as much as anything else as well, like to qualify. And I thought that was, I remember that year being like really, really exciting at pipe because of that, and it was like nothing to do with a world title.
And there's more. They already announced that there was going to be more female surfers, didn't they?
Yeah, that's this year's change. But yeah. And the other thing I was going to mention to you is the only bit of bad news about this change is that we are go from September this year, we won't have any competitive surfing until April next year. But you
That
know,
is.
I
That
reckon
is.
I reckon they'll do some, I think they might do a specialty event at Pipe this
I gotta
January.
think they'll do something because that's a long time and a lot of things can happen in this world. Like there could be a revolution.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean,
Uh, for example, there is side note a revolution. Labor Party got voted in Australia. There was a vote. There was an election in Canada. Both of them swung against the the trend of nationalist and um, Donald and his things. So there is rumblings going on in the world, and it just feels like what you just said then. Just feels like 7 months is a long time to
yeah.
give people an opportunity to lose all their belongings.
You haven't heard about the terrible vote in England then?
Oh, I did.
Oh
I did.
yeah,
I
just
didn't understand. What was that vote? What was that election?
so it's a
By
local
election.
it's a local government election. So like local councils. Um
Yes.
and
Every local council?
yeah,
Okay, so the whole country.
yeah. And this new and how do I mean, I'm completely against them, so I'll be they're new and they're racist and they're old
Extreme right
fashioned.
wing.
Yeah, I don't know whatever side of the wing they are, they're extreme and they're racist and they're stupid as well. You ask the people like, "Oh, why did you?" They're called Reform. Why did you vote for Reform? Oh, because all the immigrants are doing this. And then you say to that person, "Oh, have you got a job?" And they're like, "No." And they're like, they're actually doing the interview outside the pub on a Tuesday afternoon. Like, and you're like, "You're a fucking waster. You shouldn't be allowed to vote."
And they did get a lot of votes then.
Yeah, they took a lot of votes, like a scary amount of votes. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
just
that's what I'm saying. The world's in a bit of a weird place. It just seems
yeah,
like 7 months. I'm also watching. We always talk about things. Well, I do. I'm watching the End of Us. Is it called? The Last of Us.
Last of Us. Yeah, I don't watch
Last
it.
of Us, and it's just like it feels sometimes when you read in the paper, which we try not to talk too much politics, so we'll get away for it. But anything could happen. So in that seven
Yeah,
months, maybe there's a renegade tour.
yeah, maybe. Um,
So none of this year's events are off. They've got the South Pacific back. Look at that run. This is a run. You could nearly cut everything else out and have that. Is J-Bay, Chopu, Cloud Break, Lower Trestles all in a row. Two rights. two lefts.
Yeah. And
Sakarima, left, right, left.
yeah,
Cut right, Snapper right, Muggy's right, Bell's right. Hey, side note then, we did say we briefly mentioned Burley. Jack got knocked out. Julian Wilson went huge. Still got it.
yeah, he looked good, didn't he? The Katie Steph heat was really cool to watch. The first round where they who was it who came third with a decent score as well?
I
Luana
thought
Silva.
I
Luana
thought
Silva.
Steffi won that heat. I hate to get in judging
Really?
things.
Ooh. Um, I thought Katie might look a little bit spicier, and I'm a bit of a massive Steph fan actually.
Oh, someone said, I read a comment somewhere, but these crew going, oh, what's she in it for? She's too old. She's had her day, blah,
Oh,
blah. She blown all that. Do you agree with me? I just still think she blowed nearly all of them out of the water. Perfect,
100%. 100%.
perfect shape, perfect shape. Like this whole tour, except for Chopu and Cloudbreak, which is exactly the same as Felipe.
Yeah. I completely agree. And I also think that um you saw her like I've watched a lot of Steph surfing since she came off tour. Like I love how she surfs. She surfs completely different when she's in Arashi, and she's like a different surfer, but she's still phenomenal. Like
I think
absolutely.
with a helmet on, she'd go still pretty good at backdoor too.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Actually, that was something I was going to say to you about the new tour. Just quickly going back to that, like we do, we jump around. You know, they've got the two events that are like the post-cut events. So they're basically calling them seeding rounds, right?
Okay, that's how they're classing it.
Yeah.
Just
Do you not
is a
think,
bit confusing.
do you not think that the people who aren't in that are going to get a bit of advantage? Because like at that time of the year, so say for example you finish outside the top 24, so you know you're fighting for your cut spot as well. You don't have to go to a pool or to Peniche, you just head straight to Hawaii.
Might be a bit early to go to Hawaii, but because
Or
Trestles, I just don't know. I don't know if they've posted any dates up on it yet.
I Nor do I. I'll have a quick look.
I don't think it's going to be mid-September. It's going to be mid late Sep. Oh no, because then there's two more events. You got to think it could be. Let's say it's late September. It always used to be late September, and then it was Quicksilver Pro. So let's say it's late September. Then you've got Abu Dhabi. They can do whenever they want, but I'm pretty sure they're going to want to do Peniche in October.
I
So I've
agree.
got a feeling that Peniche's wrapped up by the 25th of October at the very latest. So that means that's 2 months until the pipe comp. Okay, so just didn't mean to, but just following logic there, you your fire's been put out.
Yeah, true. Well, that's why we're here.
Well,
Um,
we'll see next year in between now and the
yeah.
world global plant pandemic that eats us all. What's going to happen?
Back to Burley.
What do you think about Julian Wilson?
Really, really cool. I thought Liam O'Brien won that heat. Um, I thought Italo did surf well, but I thought Liam O'Brien was like better. Um,
Really fast, really good, really clean.
Better read as well. But yeah, Julian and Morgs, like so Ryan Callanan pulled out, had a baby. You
That's that's a tragedy for me that he's going to get cut. He's off tour. It'll be hard for him to get back. He's the. I just think he's got the best backhand on tour. I mean, it's been up and down. You know, I feel like schizophrenic. There is some pretty good backhanders, and I just think
maybe it's like
just so good. It's not funny. Real letdown.
in a way, yeah. But then everything happens for a reason, and maybe like he's
Yep.
literally just have a kid. So maybe it's the best thing for him is to have a year off. Like, I don't know. Like, who knows? But um Yeah, Jack Robinson, is expecting Julian and Ryan Callenton, which would have been a hell heat as well. And then he's got Morgan coming up, and Morgan again. He's just like, I really want him back on tour. Um, and yeah,
Well,
Jack.
Jack, you who likes people to have rests, Jack can just nip on the plane, whip over to WA. It's his home.
Go home. Literally, probably stay in
It's
his own
his
house.
home. I'm pretty sure he's got his own house there, if I remember. He's back there. He's visiting rallies. They're saying g'day. What's the next event
Margie's.
after Margie's?
Um, J-Bay? Or
Good
is it
question, isn't
Brazil?
it? Good question.
J-Bay or Brazil?
No idea.
Um,
Probably be Brazil, would it?
I would have guessed so.
We're in May, June. I'm having a look.
I'm having a look as well.
Lexus Trestles Pro.
Oh, Trestles. Yeah.
So that's June the 9th. And Margie's is, oh yeah, 17 to the 27. 17. So we're only the 5th. He's got 12 days. He's got a good stint back home now. I
Yeah.
was a bit disappointed, obviously, with the Burley conditions. Just I mean, fun. It's fun. It's just pretty subpar, isn't it, really? It's nothing on
Yeah.
Snapper.
It's just a bit, it's like,
The sand's not good, they say. It's mixed up into two different banks. It's just not doesn't feel like it's a point break.
no, and the size as well. Like, to be completely honest, I looked at it and was like, oh, I would like to surf that. Like, and it like kind of looked kind of soft, but like a fun size and a bit cuppy in sections. And I was like, oh, that looks fun for me to surf, not for the very best in the world.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. So, it's not going to be on tour next year because
No, I mean, it wasn't even meant to be there this year, was it? So,
they'll do everything they can to make sure the sand's back at Snapper. They've got a long time, eh? They've got a whole year to get it.
yeah.
Got longer than a year to get it uh, wrapped up. Well, that's all I wanted to talk to you about, matey. Hopefully, someone wins the comp, and we'll get ourselves another guest over next week. I've got a flash potential guest with us with Laurie Phipps, who I saw at the cafe today. I'd love to talk about the para surfing competition she goes in, just to hear about the vibe, and we'll speak later on the weekend.
I just wanted to ask you one final closing question then
Oh,
to wrap this
yeah,
up.
well, and I had a kook and core, but I forgot it.
Okay, well, my question would be, this is men's and women's side. With this announcement, does everyone come back? And what I mean by that is
Oh, I don't think that was related at all.
no, no,
I
but
was,
I'm sorry, I'm saying like
you mean John, Stephanie, and Carissa?
John, Gab, John, Gabrielle, Carissa, Steph. Do they now look at this and go, yeah, I want to be back on that tour?
I don't know. They're all got multiple world titles. I just got a feeling that those things are kind of unrelated. Like when or if you see John's posts,
Yeah.
can you get better life than that?
Tatiana? What about Tatiana?
Tatiana, I don't think it was her either. I think she's just um I guess it is hard traveling the world surfing good waves.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I personally think that Gabby will be back for sure because I think he would be
I
on
think
this
he was
year.
would have been back anyway if he
Yeah, he would
didn't
have been on this year. He got
tear his
injured.
tit off.
I think that Tatiana will come back because I reckon she fancies herself at pipe. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if Carissa Moore came back.
We're
Like,
the 5th of May, man. It
Yeah,
doesn't start till April 26th. Taddy's got a year
exactly.
to get herself. She's also got to apply for it because someone could get injured. Joanne
Yeah,
Defane, Joanne Defay's having a kid.
yeah.
I'd give her the wild card before I give it to Taddy.
I wouldn't. Not
She's
when.
producing a future taxpayer for us, mate.
But Patty's
Need
obviously
our roads serviced.
she's also costing more by having a kid. Uh, um, but yeah, it'll be interesting. What other is there any guys that have taken this year off? Don't know. Other than
Well,
John.
Ramsey's unfortunately taken the year off, isn't
Oh
he?
yeah,
I got a feeling they'll give him one.
yeah.
It'll be between him and Crosby, but I got a feeling,
And I hate to say it to put it out in the universe, but maybe Kelly, maybe Kelly will want a bit of back.
nah, but like imagine he's 50, he's 54 by the time that starts. There's no way they'll give it to him, but they might give him a wild card.
Well, can you?
To,
I was literally about to say that. Can you
good
imagine?
chance he'll get a pipe wild card, which means he'll be in the pipe wild card 54, which will be pretty cool.
He should always get the wild card for pipe as long as he wants it. And can you imagine if you're like 7 or 8 thousand points clear of a world title and you're the top seed and the lowest seed you rank obviously is a wild card and you've got Kelly at pumping pipe.
Well, if you can't beat a 54-year-old at pipe, you don't deserve to be the world champ that year.
Even though it's Kelly at pipe, maybe, yeah. Interesting. I mean, great changes from the WSL. Um, listened to it and read the interview with Sam McIntosh and Ryan Crosby, and it's really good on Stab. Like, it's worth a look up. Um, and yeah, we'll be back soon. Hopefully, Burley end of the week looks quite good, apparently. So, um, we'll be back soon.
Ah, Kugel Core
You remembered.
commenting on articles you read.
Um, Quite depends on the comment.
I've officially retired from today after reading the most pathetic comment, which comes back. Why do the women get equal pay when they're not surfing as good as the guys?
Morons.
I mean, I get so frustrated about that. Like how you can. That's the same as that's the same as the immigrants are stealing our jobs and money. Where, for example, in Australia, they don't tax on the exported gas. They sell it, but there's no surcharge tax on it. Now, if they did like Finland, there'd be free schooling and all that stuff. So hearing that the woman, she did, Lakey Peterson, who was ripping, she didn't bring she equal pay. Like, come on, and you get so fired up that you comment. Well, I did, and I don't want to. So
No, yeah.
I've stopped. I'm going cold turkey.
I mean, in answer to the Kuka core, if that is your comment, then that's kook. If you're commenting something that, if you're lifting someone up, if you're being positive, or if you're commenting something kind of constructive, then great. Um, but if you're commenting for the sake of just being a negative, uh, racist, misogynistic piece of shit, then just keep it to yourself. And
Okay, so then even worse is commenting on someone's comment, which is what I did. So
you've been sucked
that's
in because you've
that's
then dropped
that's
yourself
the
down.
kook. That's kook, isn't it? Come
It,
on, call me a
it,
kook. You can.
it is kooky because it's kooky in your own way because you've been dragged down to their level when you're above their level, basically. But yeah,
I'm going cold turkey. I'm
do
calling
it.
it commenting on comments. Don't do it.
No. And if you're gonna vote, like don't don't get your information from Facebook or social media. Like do proper research in who you're gonna vote for and stuff and think
Or the
about
guy from
it.
the pub.
Because yeah, exactly. Because it's actually serious shit, and I don't think people kind of realize how serious it is, and it's so scary when people were voting the way they are.
Well,
Um,
look what happened when you had that Brexit situation.
well, they're all the same people. So basically, the Reform group is the Brexit group, and like if Brexit wasn't a thing, I would live in France right now, very, very happily, and I can't because of Brexit. So that's why I hate everyone who votes for reform. And
And surfboards would have still been able to be shipped from the continent to England.
yeah, think about how many one bad eggs you could have had if Brexit hadn't have happened.
Thanks
Um,
for having me, Matt.
thanks, thanks, Daz. We'll be back soon. Enjoy your week and au revoir.
Au revoir.